I now give the floor to Algeria.
أشكركم على إعطاء.
Thank you for giving me the floor. I would also like to thank His Excellency, the President of the General Assembly, for convening this meeting commemorating the closure of the International Decade for people of African descent. Madam Moderator, the subject under discussion today is very important as it touches on the people of African descent and how to ensure that their rights and freedoms are protected and promoted as established in Durban Programme of Action and Declaration to fight discrimination, xenophobia and related intolerance. Despite all efforts, policies and initiatives to eliminate gender-based and religion and color-based discriminatory policies against people of African descent continue to persist in many communities, including discrimination, inequality, racial discrimination, and hate speech. We believe that ending apartheid and the bitter experience of South Africa in the 90s of the last century would give the humanity a lesson to draw the lessons when we judge others based on the skin color. For us as Africans, people of African descent are an integral part of our identity, our history, our legacy, and our culture. They are an added value and key actors in the economic and social life and political life, not only for the communities to which they belong, but many of them maintained the close ties with their mother continent, and many contribute to the development and prosperity of their mother continent, Africa. In this connection, Algeria calls for continued efforts and awareness campaigns to continue the path of promoting human rights of people of African descent at the global level over the coming decades. Ladies and gentlemen, the status of people of African descent is just the result of historic grievances of the African continent, the price of which remains to be paid until this very day, starting from the slavery era, where those people have been forcibly migrated, then the colonialism, occupation, and foreign hegemony, which led to the exploitation of the resources of the continent, including natural resources, reaching the gaps currently present in international order, in particular in relation to economic development, gaps between the North and South, and the marginalization of countries of the South from global governance and international decision-making process. Heads of government and state of the African Union adopted the theme Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through reform and reparation for 2025. For this to be the impetus where efforts of all African Union states would be synergized to advance their demands at the cultural, political, and economic levels, including those related to the recovery of their cultural heritage and artifacts that have been stolen by force from them. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate that my country, Algeria, will spare no effort in moving ahead towards a more just and transparent world where the African continent and the African people and people of African descent would have the status they deserve on equal footing with all other states and peoples of the world. This will be achieved only when the voice of justice and truth is promoted and ensure the rights of all peoples against all forms of discrimination, racism, and xenophobia. Algeria welcomes the initiative of the Declaration on People of African Descent and is looking forward to a second decade on this matter. Thank you.
Thank you so much.